So challenges that essentially impacted your P&L in a negative way.
Right. So thinking I have to predict is where it stems from. And then the second part of that is when you're wrong, then you have no plan, because you say, well, I made the prediction. And I really feel in looking back at the early struggles, I really feel like I thought that if I didn't predict it right, I didn't deserve to change my mind and then, stop losing money. Like I had to take that pain from being wrong, and I had to wait until the market agreed with me to get out of the position. And that was probably the worst and most stressful times, where I went through a few different mouses where they'd get smashed and I have to go get another one and all that stuff. But now, knowing that it has nothing to do with predicting, and I don't have to feel like I earned a profit by guessing what was going to happen correctly, that now it's more about adapting to what's going on and knowing the two different probabilities in every market, which is the trend and the range. If the trend is identified, then you can expect continuation in that trend. However, you have to respect the range as well. So if you're a little bit overbought in a bullish trend, you can't just say I have to be bullish because it's bullish. You can either be flat or a little bit less long, or maybe even a tiny bit short if you want. But really getting past thinking, well, we're overbought, the market has to go down, and that's the only way I'm going to make a profit this week. That there's a lot more ways to do that. So I want to make sure I answer the question fully. Early struggles, is that kind of what we're getting at?
Absolutely, yeah.
Challenges. So thinking I had to predict, not being willing to admit when I was wrong and get in the right direction again. Poor strategies, the wrong strategies on the wrong instruments. That's a big one. So frequently managed income trading styles on low-priced ETFs, that's just a recipe for disaster. So, if you have an iron condor or a butterfly management strategy and you trade that on an ETF and you hear people talk about fixing and adjusting and managing their profiles, you say, okay, I get it. I'm going to use ETFs and I'm going to use an income strategy and I'm going to manage it frequently to make sure I keep it under control and wait till I trap the market. Well, you got two things right and one thing wrong. And the one thing wrong is you're using it on the wrong instrument, which means your commissions are going to be 1,000% more, give or take, whatever the exact number is. But you're spending 10 times as much on commissions for frequent management, which means you're running uphill with the wind in your face because you have to overcome very expensive commissions on that strategy.